the motion. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Honorable educators, respected teachers, and beloved opposition team. Today, we as the Affirmative Team strongly believe that university education should be free. Free university education refers to a system in which students are not required to pay tuition fees to attend public universities, as the cost of education is fully or primarily covered by the government through public funding such as taxes. This policy is specifically limited to public institutions and does not necessarily apply to private universities, which may still operate independently and share space. In this context, free refers only to the removal of tuition fees and does not automatically include additional expenses such as accommodation, transportation, or daily living costs. Therefore, this system is not about lowering academic quality or providing unlimited access, but about removing financial barriers so that all qualified individuals, regardless of their socioeconomic background, have an equal opportunity to pursue higher education. Our theme line today is I, as the first speaker, will explain about how free university education creates equal opportunity. Our second speaker, Sovia, will explain how it drives economic growth, ensures social justice and mobility, and provides great public benefit and private benefit. Finally, our third speaker, Naila, will reinforce all of our arguments in the conclusion. Access to university today is strongly influenced by financial background. Many capable students cannot afford tuition, while scholarships are limited and student loans create long-term debt. As a result, the system becomes money-based rather than merit-based, excluding talented individuals and limiting societal potential. By making education free, financial barriers are removed, giving all qualified students a fair chance through quality of opportunity cannot exist if education remains a luxury. Ladies and gentlemen, education should be a right for everyone, not a privilege for the wealthy. For this reason, we broadly stand in support of the motion. This House believes university education should be free. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for speaker of the affirmative team. Now, I invite the first speaker of the opposition team to present their opening statement and respond to the argument made by the affirmative team. Time is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, honorable educators, and my respected affirmative team. We firmly stand against the motion that university education should be free. First, I come to the argument. I come to the definition. In this debate, university education should be free means that students do not have to pay tuition fees to attend university, as the cost is funded by the government or public resources. Let me introduce myself. My name is Rahmat Dani as first speaker. We'll explain the first argument, and then there is Salsabila An-Nury as a second speaker. Will explain the next argument, and then there is Dwi Agus Saputra will summarize the argument. First, before I come to our argument, I will rebut the affirmative team. Free university education does not guarantee equal opportunity because students still face costs such as books, transportation, and living expenses. Also, not all students choose university, so free tuition for everyone is not the best use of public funds. Therefore, we oppose the motion. Targeted scholarship and financial aid are a fairer and more effective solution than free university education for all. For these reasons, we strongly stand against the motion that university education should be free. Our first argument is that free university education will place a heavy financial burden on the government. Funding higher education for all students requires a large amount of public money. To cover this cost, government may need to increase taxes or reduce spending in other important sectors. Honorable educators, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Developing, countries with free or heavily subsidized university system spend billions of dollars each year on higher education. While wealthy countries may be able to support this policy, many developing countries face budget limitation and struggle to maintain such high levels of spending. As a result, government may have to redirect funds from important sectors such as healthcare, infrastructure, and primary education. Furthermore, not everyone attends university, while everyone depends on public services. In many developing countries, prioritizing free university education could reduce the quality of services that benefit a larger portion of society. Therefore, using limited public resources to provide free university education for all is not the most effective solution. A targeted scholarship and financial aid system would be fairer and more sustainable. For these reasons, we strongly oppose the motion. Free university education creates significant financial pressure on the government and may reduce funding for other essential public needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for speaker of the opposition team. Next, I would like to invite the second speaker of the affirmative team to continue the team arguments and rebut the opposition points. Time is yours.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I am Sovia Aisyah, the second speaker of Affirmative Team. With presenting my argument, I would like to respond to opposition's claim that free university education places a heavy financial burden on the government. The opposition views education as a cost while we view it as an investment. We will educate the population increases productivity, strengthen the economy, and benefit society in the long run. Furthermore, scholarships alone are not enough because many qualified students still cannot access them. Therefore, the opposition expects to prove that free university education is an ineffective use of public resources. Ladies and gentlemen, our team firmly believes that free university education creates opportunities, promotes fairness, and supports national development. Now let me move to our second argument. First, free university education contributes to the economic growth. When more students can attend university, a country produces a more skilled workforce. This leads to higher productivity, innovation, and stronger economic development. Second, free university education promotes social justice and mobility. Students should have opportunities based on their ability, not their financial background. By removing tuition barriers, more talented students can achieve a better future and improve their quality of life. Third, free university education benefits society as a whole. Graduates become teacher, doctor, engineer, and other professionals who contribute to public welfare and national progress. Therefore, the benefits extend far beyond individual students. For these reasons, free university education supports economic growth, promotes social equality, and provides significant. And then, access to education should not depend on how wealthy a person's family is. Unfortunately, many talented students are forced to delay or even abandon their university dreams because
Before I come to the argument, I will rebut the affirmative team. Say that free university education improves economic growth, which creates social justice. While free education requires a very large government budget. The money used for university could also be spent on healthcare. They also compare our country with Germany and Norway. Moreover, not all countries have the same economic strength. Developing countries may struggle to maintain a free university system for many years. In addition, free doesn't benefit both poor and rich students. This means money is used for people who can already afford university. Well, continued second argument is about the quality of education. When university depend completely on government funding, they may face budget limitation. If more students enter university because it's a free classroom can become overcrowded, and university may not be enough. University may also have fewer resources for research, technology, and student service. As a result, the quality of education may disperse. Education is not only about making university free, it's also about ensuring students deserve a good learning experience and useful skill for their future career. The first argument is about students' responsibilities. When a student pays for their education, they often value it more and are motivated to attend class, complete assignment, and grade on time. However, when education is completely free, some students may take it for granted. They may enroll with a clear goals or commitment. This can lead to lower motivation and wasted to government resources. For this reason, we believe that free university education can create financial pressure, reduce education quality, and weaken student responsibility. Therefore, we protest against that measure.
Thank you, second speaker of the opposition team. We will now approach the third speaker. I invite the third speaker of the affirmative team to strengthen the team case and address the opposition arguments. Stand is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I move into my summary, let me first start with our strong support for the motion that university education should be free. And as the third speaker of the affirmative team, I will not address and rebut the argument presented by the second speaker of the opposition. The second speaker of the opposition argued that free education will reduce the quality of universities and diminish student responsibility. However, When comparing both sides, the opposition focused only on short-term financial concerns, while our team presents long-term, evidence-based, and sustainable solutions that benefit individuals, the economy, and society as a whole. In conclusion, university education should not be a privilege reserved only for those who can afford it. It should be a right that offers opportunity for everyone. By making university education free, we are investing not only in students but also in innovation, economic growth, and social equality. For this reason, we firmly stand by this motion. University education should be free. Thank you.
Thank you, third speaker of the affirmative team. Next, I invite the third speaker of the opposition team to deliver their final argument and rebuttals. Time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable educators and my respected affirmative team, we firmly stand against the motion that university education should be free. I will rebuttal to affirmative team. The affirmative team says university education gives more public benefit than private benefit. We believe that educate people help society. But graduates also receive personal advantages such as higher salaries, better careers, and improved lifestyles. Because students get strong personal benefits, it is fair for them to share the returns of education instead of depending completely on the government. The affirmative side focuses too much on ideal goals, but in honest, the financial reality, free university education sounds good, but it is expensive and not always sustainable. Instead of making education free for everyone, scholarship and financial aid for students in need are more effective and fair. So, let me summarize our team arguments. First, free university education creates a financial burden on the government. The money used for free education could instead support healthcare, infrastructure, and basic education. These policies may be difficult to maintain, especially in developing countries. Second, free education may lower the quality of universities. Limit funding can cause overcrowded classrooms, fewer facilities, and lower lecturer salaries. Education is not only about access, but also about quality. Third, free education can reduce students' sense of responsibility. When people do not pay for something, they may not fully appreciate it. This can lead to the low motivation and waste of public resources. So, based on all the arguments presented by our team, we strongly oppose the motion that university education should be free. Thank you.
Thank you, third speaker of the opposition team. Next, reply speaker of the affirmative team. Time is yours.
Good morning, everyone. As the reply speaker of the affirmative team, I would like to summarize why our side has won this debate. Throughout this debate, this opposition argued that free university education would place a financial burden on the government. However, they focus only on the short-term costs and fail to consider the long-term benefits. Our team has shown that
society. However, they fail to address the practical challenges of implementing such a policy. First, our team provide that free university education places a significant financial burden on the government. Providing free tuition for all students requires enormous public spending, which may result in higher taxes or reduced funding for essential sectors such as healthcare. Second, we show that free education does not guarantee quality education. If universities receive more students without sufficient resources, classrooms may become overcrowded, facilities may be limited, and other. Third, for free education for everyone is not necessarily fair. Wealthy students who can already afford tuition will also benefit from the policy. The affirmative side also uses example of developing countries. However, not every country has the same economic strength. Many developing countries would struggle to sustain a fully free university system in the long term. When comparing both sides, the affirmative team focus on ideals, while our side focus on practicality, sustainability, fairness, and education quality. Therefore, we firmly believe that university education should not be completely free. Thank you.
Thank you. First, reference speaker of the opposition team. We have now raised the conclusion of our debate. I would like to thank both the affirmative team and the opposition team for their insightful argument regarding the motion. This house believes that university education shall be free. Thank you as well to our judges and audience members for your attention and participation. With that, today's debate session comes to an end. Have a wonderful day and thank you for being here. Good morning, I'm Rahmat Dani.